Okay, folks, it's Sunday, and we are going to do the question of the week. I have a few questions stored up, a couple that I was thinking about doing, but this was brought up to me twice this week, this question here, and it was on the group sites, because some people are pestering other people about their mature males. So the question of the week is to breed or not to breed. So when I first really started to get into them, a couple years ago, of course, I had a lot of slings. I didn't have, very many males. And the first, this is Denver, by the way, the mature male GBB. What I'm going to do is, while I'm talking, I'm going to try and give him a Mario worm. Hopefully he'll eat without running away from us, and then we'll leave the cover off. Come on, Denver. There you go. I'll go ahead and give him another one just because he's going away. So that mealworm that went down there is not that big of a deal. There you go. Yeah, he's being shipped out this week. I'm not sure if it's Tuesday or Wednesday. It depends on when Lewis gets back into town. But anyway, get back to the topic. I thought I'd use a mature male as a subject. And again, going back to when I first got into them more. Okay, like I said, I had one for a long time. It was the only one that I had for a long time. And then I found one at work, and it just kind of blew up from there to the point of where I'm at now. What my view was before and what my view is now are pretty much the same. I don't think that you have to, by some kind of tarantula keeping standard, have to send your mature males off to breed. It's just not. I'm going to turn this camera so you can get a nice clear look at him. So you don't really need to send them off to breed, whether it's through trades or through sale or breeding loans. I don't think that people should pester other people about their pets, that, oh, you should breed him, let him do his duty. New keepers, they get drawn into tarantulas. They buy one thinking it's a female because that's what they're told. It molts and boom, it's got hooks and it's got emboli, or it has emboli without the hooks, because they're not all males have the tibial hooks. Not tibial hooks, well, they're not really tibial hooks, but I'm not sure if that's the right term or not. Yeah, it is tibial hooks, because tarsal claws is what it's got stuck in my head. Tarsal claws. Anyway, so yeah, I was right. The first male that I had that matured was a Neoholotheliense, and I had already had a female that should have been mature. I got her in at the 2-inch mark, so I got the other one in, and it molted twice, and it matured, and I was excited. So I waited, for it to do his thing, get all recovered, build a sperm web, load up, and then I cohabbed them with the female, and they were together for roughly, I would say, a month and a half is what my guess would be, is if I remember correctly. There was no aggression towards the male whatsoever. They tapped a bunch. They touched each other a bunch. I watched them for probably 2 hours. It got late. I gave up. I just let them be. A couple days later, I did see what I thought was a pairing. I thought it was quite successful because he had her up in the air. I don't know if there was insertion or not based on the enclosure, because the enclosure was kind of milky on the side, so it was a little bit hard to see in there from the side. But I thought he mated. She molted out of it. I removed him, I let him recover. He built another sperm web. I gave her 45 days. She recovered. I was constantly wetting her down the entire enclosure. I never cooled her. I just wet her. And then I put them back in. And the first day immediately they got together. And I thought for sure, we were going to be good. And then he started to go downhill. So I took him out, gave him his own enclosure. He lasted about 7 more days, and then he curled up and died. There was no strike by her whatsoever. Matter of fact, when they uncoupled, he turned around and walked away, and she turned around and walked away. They went to their separate sides of the enclosure. She molted out a second time. So then it was all, can I do this? What am I doing wrong? Well, a friend of mine had a rare species that molted out as a male. And I call him a closet or a weekend breeder. He's a decent guy for the most part. He really, really wanted this male, and my friend didn't want to have anything to do with it. And it was more of a, the statement that was made is that you're not doing, you're not going to put these spiders, you have an opportunity to put these spiders out in the hobby, and you're bypassing it. I have a female ready to go, and blah, blah, blah. Well, this is kind of why I thought this topic up. And then, of course, the 2 comments this week that were sent to me PM-wise about, someone getting pestered or someone pestering them about their mature male. And one was an Aphonopelma hensi, and the other was GBB like this one. The keeper was new, had no idea she had a mature male, and someone, a typical breeder, someone that breeds off a lot, was really, really adamant about trying to get the spider off her. She had never packed a spider, shipped a spider, had no idea what to do. So she had asked me if she was wrong by wanting to keep them, and I said absolutely not. You're never wrong to want to keep the spider that you have, whether it's a mature male or it's not a mature male, and whether it's a rare species or it's an everyday species. They're your species, they're your spiders. So my view is no, it's not mandatory or it's not necessary that you breed every single mature male that you raise up. I have this guy, I have the Balfouri. They are being shipped off in a trade. I have the Carabina Versicolor. I really debated on whether I wanted to get rid of that one. I really debated whether I wanted to get rid of this one. But I wanted to work with the guy that this one's going to. He's a real good guy out in California. Heard a ton of good things about him, so I wanted to work with him one time. And this was the Balfouri was actually the first one that he was interested in. The GBB came kind of like a add-on with the Regalis. So I'm getting some things in that I like. I still do have 2 GBBs, and the 4th part of our trade, because I changed it, because I'm trying to shy away from some of the old worlds. I was going to get a Regalis sling to replace the Regalis female I was sending him, and then I changed my mind. So what I asked him was for a Davus Penaloris or another GBB sling, both of them roughly around the 3/4 inch mark. I told him to surprise me, so I don't know which one of the 2 he's going to send. It really doesn't make a difference to me. It would be cool to have 3 GBBs at all time, because I have 3 at the moment right now. And that kind of, ups our ante a little bit because the Arkham is a female. Now, I don't chastise anybody for saying, yeah, I think that's, it's only fair to the spider that you try to breed them. Again, you could be someplace where there's not a lot of keepers, you don't know how to ship, you're afraid to try and pack a spider. There's no reason that it needs to happen. Now, if you had someone local that you might want to be interested in trying to do it, and you can take them to them and they're experienced, then yeah. A lot of people aren't experienced at breeding spiders. I'm not even really, I wouldn't call myself experienced at all. I've had 2 breeding attempts. One took, but the female didn't really do her job. And that was the Seriocosmus Bertae. And then the Neoholothella anses, which she molted out. Some people, boy, is he blue, isn't he? Some people said that she probably wasn't completely mature, but the molt told me otherwise. I mean, her spermathecae was sclerotized, thick, dark. She was ready to go. And they're a great species. A species that's a favorite of mine. That, I really like the Djurs because they don't take up a lot of room, and the Ensays are hammers when it comes to eating when they want to eat. When they're in pre-molt, just like any other spider, they can go quite a long time without eating. So that was this week's topic. Let me know in the comments what you think. Let me know what you think about this guy, because he's going off to do his thing next week. Hopefully he survives, because GBBs are known to, especially the females, are known to really munch the males, and they could take a long time for their breeding courtship. Hours upon hours just sitting there looking at each other. So hopefully he's successful. It's not again, this is a straight trade, so it's not I'm getting anything back from it. Just the 4 spiders that I'm trading for the 3 that are being sent out. So let me know. Again, I hope this is an interesting topic for people. The question of the week. I'd like to have a lot of people chime in, and I think the majority of the views are probably going to be the same, because most of us look at these as pets and not a business. I'm not in it for a business. I'm not selling anything. I have sold 2 spiders only because they were to friends, and they were really wanted the species, and I had 3 of them. So other than that, I think that it's not really necessary that you need to send your males away. Again, if it wasn't for the guy that actually asked for this guy, I probably wouldn't have done it, unless it was Ruth, and she already has some GBBs, males and females. So that's my view. So I'm going to add on one little quick thing at the end of this, but I'm going to stop right here and then add it on real quick, and that's the what I did with the Heterothele villicella from the first video. I'm going to go ahead and try to throw that cricket back in now it's in its new home. Yeah, it looks a lot better. We can actually see the spider now, and I think it's going to do some good things. It went right to the water dish and drank, so I think it's going to be successful in here. It is a female. The male was gone, so I'm assuming that she ate him. I don't think that he ever matured. I never saw hooks, and they do get hooks, but it's possible that he didn't, or he did mature and they mated and she ate him. I don't really know, because they were inside cohabiting together the whole entire time. They were sack mates, so I'm kind of hesitant to think that that's actually a possibility, but it's always, I guess, a possibility. So I'm going to shut you off here and show you the Heterothele villicella real quick.